you do, let me know. So, my name is Kelly Levere, and I am a 2-star Diamond Premiere coach. Yeah. I'm super proud of that, and the reason I'm proud of that is because my team is awesome. They are working really hard, and they deserve a shout out. Good guys. Half of them had to leave. We had someone from Wisconsin also come in. So, wow. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story before I get into all the goal setting. I am a band teacher by trade. I teach 4th, 5th, and 6th grade beginning band. So when your kids come home and say, "Mommy, I want to learn the flute," I'm the one that teaches them that. And I love it. It is literally my dream job. They're going to have to drag my dead body out of there, okay? Because it's fun. It's so rewarding. But this whole Beachbody thing is really rewarding too, and I never thought it was going to be there. I think when Danny asked me to sign up, I was like, I'm not doing this. I want my discount, but I'm not doing this. And 2 days later, I was like, sweet. I have 2 children. Wyatt is 5.5, and Piper is 2.5. And I have always been overweight, struggling with my weight. You know, you're in high school and you're like, I'm so fat. And then you look back at the pictures as an adult and you're like, damn, I was really good back then. But I lost all my baby weight after my daughter. When my daughter was born, I weighed over 250 pounds. And I got down to my pre-pregnancy weight, which was 214 pounds. And then I started gaining weight back because I was unhappy with the way I was. I was eating and eating and eating and eating Oreos, boxes of Oreos in my underwear drawer. It's relevant, I promise. In my underwear drawer, I have an empty box of sun-kissed fruit snacks. And the reason it's there and the reason I've never thrown it away is because it's a reminder to me every day of where I don't want to go back to. That it is, I would buy them at the store, and I would eat them on the way home and put all the packages back in the box because I didn't want my husband to know that all I wanted was sugar and that I didn't want him to see that. And I was embarrassed about it. So I leave that in my drawer. So every time I get a new pair of underwear, I'm like, oh, yeah, there we go. Danny saw me pinning some healthy recipes on Pinterest, and she formed me. And when I found out that she formed me, I was like, ooh, you're good. You're really good. And I learned how to do it from that. And, you know, I was kind of ticked. I was like, oh, you got me hook, line, and sinker. And it was awesome. But I was too
Just to clarify, it was from the heart.
It was. It absolutely was. And she had tried numerous times before. She was like, hey, Kelly, I'm doing this Beachbody thing. I see you, you know, trying to get healthy. And, you know, and she, and I was like, no. And then she went to Vegas, and it was right after I had my daughter. And I'm like, Beachbody? Her name's her company, Beachbody. And I Googled it, and I was like, this is a joke. This is stupid. But she looked like she was having so much fun. And then a couple months later, she contacted me. And then she put me in all these groups on Facebook. And I met up with all these wonderful people, and my challenge pack hadn't even come yet, and I only had 5 samples of Shakeology, and it was like my crack. I was like, Danny, how can I get more of this? More. And it's great. And it was bad. And she signed me up with my challenge pack, and she took the time to ask me, and I'll never forget this, what I enjoyed. If she would have said, hey, you know, the Insanity Challenge Pack's on sale this month, you should go buy it, because it'd be great for you, I would have quit immediately. I hate cardio. I hate it. With every ounce of my being, I hate cardio. I'm doing max 30. I don't know why, but I'm doing it to say I did it. So Danny took the time to really get to know me. We had known each other from a long time ago at muscular dystrophy camp, because part of my story is the stress method. and I learned how to really set goals and do it well. I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey. My husband and I were able to pay off over $17,000 in debt without Beachbody this past year. Like, not even from my Beachbody income, but just through the Dave Ramsey stuff. So, and I learned how to do goal sets. So, where am I going? Here we go. So, getting into the goals, it's so important that you set goals for yourself, like Nikki had us do at the beginning, but you have to set the right kind of goals. And the right kind of goals, if you've ever listened to Shalene or anything, they're SMART goals. And SMART goals stand for specific, they stand for measurable, attainable, relevant and realistic, and time-bound. And I also have, they have to be your goals. We'll talk about that. And Dave Ramsey goes on to take that even a little further and says you have to have those goals in 7 very specific areas of your life. And if you do that, you're going to have career goals, okay, whether it be my teaching career or my Beachbody career. I have goals in both. Financial, I think we all have financial goals. Spiritual, physical, intellectual, family, and social. Social's weird to me, having goals socially, but that kind of fits in with the Beachbody job of growing my network. So of these 7 areas, you're going to find that 2 or 3 of them are going to be really easy. You're like, man, I got those. I can set goals really easily in those. In the other areas, it's going to be very difficult for you to set those goals. And those are probably the areas that you're really going to have to focus on when you're doing your goals. So let's talk about the SMART goals. The first thing you need to do is you need your goals to be specific and measurable. And I figured the easiest way to do this was to give you guys a few goals that, you know, I might have. Well, here's a couple goals. I want to make more money. Great, we all do. And I want to lose weight. Great, we all do. Okay? Those are not specific enough and they're not measurable. So here are specific and measurable. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay? That is more specific, and I can measure, did I do it or did I not do it? And I want to make $100,000. Great. But are those goals also, and this goes to the A and the R, attainable and realistic? Is it realistic for me to say I want to lose 20 pounds? Yes, I still have 20 pounds to go. I am on this journey. I am probably never going to be done with my journey because I've learned to love the journey. Okay? I don't think any of us are ever really at our goal body. I think our goal body is something we're always working on, whether it be losing weight or toning up or maybe gaining weight. We're always on that journey. So if you do goals that are unattainable, it's going to frustrate you. If I had said at the beginning of my journey, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, I would have failed. I absolutely failed. My goal, I was at 214 pounds. My goal was to get to 185 in 3 months. And what I did is I took that goal and I broke it down and I said, how much do I have to lose each month? How much do I have to lose each week? What am I going to have to do to get there? And I blew it out of the water. I was down at 171 by the end of the challenge. Goals that aren't realistic, okay, I want to lose 60 pounds. I don't need to lose 60 pounds. Goals that aren't realistic, they're just going to keep you dreaming instead of taking action, because you take your dreams and you turn them into goals by making them into SMART goals. Dreams are great, but they're just dreams. You have to turn them into something. Here's an example of an unattainable and unrealistic. I want to earn $100,000 in a month. For me, that is unattainable right now. It's not going to happen. I want to lose 20 pounds by Valentine's Day. For me, that's unattainable. If I said 5 or 10, I could do that. 20 does not work. I want to be, okay, now I'm a band teacher. I play clarinet, play piano. I want to be the world's best clarinetist. That is not going to happen because I do not have the drive to put in the time to practice. I love to teach, I have my family, and I love my Beachbody job. So it's not in my heart to do that, okay? So examples of realistic and attainable goals for myself would be, I want to replace my teaching salary with Beachbody in 2015. That's one of my goals. I don't want to quit teaching, but I want to match my teaching salary. That's very attainable for me and very possible. I want to be an elite 5-star qualified coach by Summit. That is attainable for me. I can do that. Okay? I took that goal and changed it from a money goal to something I can measure that's easier for me. Something that's I love hearing babies. I love it. Keep them in here. Scream away. I love it. I want a third really bad. My husband says no. Time bound. You need to make sure that your goals have a time limit on them. If goals don't have a time limit, they can't be broken down into micro goals. And micro goals are really where the money is. That is what's going to really help you. So my previous goals are no longer good because I didn't time bound them. So my original goal was I want to lose 20 pounds. My new goal is I want to lose 20 pounds by April 1st. I probably can do that. Old goal, I want to make $100,000. I want to do that in 2015. I'm not going to do that, but I told you before about Beachbody salary. The key to making time-bound goals is to reverse engineer them. Take a look at where you want to be at the end of the year. And say, okay, if I want to be, an elite qualified coach by the end of the year, then I have to have 5 diamonds by this date in order to qualify to go for here. Okay, great. I have 2 right now, so I'm going to foster and we're going to do this and I'm going to work with my coaches. I'd like to get one of my coaches to diamond every quarter. Okay? If you want to lose 30 pounds in 3 months, if you reverse engineer that, that is 2.5 pounds a week. Is that doable? Yes. Is it measurable? Yes. You can go through and say, all right, here's my goal. You can measure it. I'm going to hit it. 2.5 pounds a week. When you lose 2.5 pounds in a week, I've been there. It's like, oh man, only 2.5 pounds? But pretty soon that's 5 pounds. And that's 7.5 pounds. And then that's 10 pounds. And you're like, I'm good. I'm good at this. And it's those little goals that give you the drive to go there. If you reverse engineer $100,000 a year, okay? Again, that's not really my goal. It's just for purposes. But you would have to make $8,350 a month to reach that goal. You would have to make, if you get paid monthly, if you get paid twice a month, bi-weekly, it would be $4,175. Reverse engineer that even more, that's $2,000 a week, okay? In order to do that, in Beachbody and cycle bonuses, you have to have a certain amount of volume if you want to make $2,000 a week in cycle bonuses. I'm the type of person where I like to figure things out. I read through the policies and procedures probably 5 times before I signed up as a coach because I need to know everything. I was like, I'm signing my life away, I got to know what I'm doing. So go in and figure out, how am I going to reach that goal? What do I have to do in order to make that happen? How many coaches do I need to sign? How many challengers do I need to get into my groups? And this is very money-oriented right now, the way I'm speaking, and the money doesn't bother me. I like seeing my challengers change, so please don't think I'm all about, give me the money, because that's not it. These are examples that I give. So, like I said, reverse engineering the goals even further. How much volume do you need on each leg to hit your goals? How many new coaches to add? How many new groups do you need to run to get those challengers, to get those goals? If you say, I'm going to sell 30 challenge packs this month, and I'm going to sign 5 coaches, and you don't run a coaching at a glance group, and you don't do a coach opportunity call, and you only have a free group running this month, guess what? None of those are going to happen. You have to set up your month and do it ahead of time to help yourself reach your goals. In order to max out on your cycle bonuses, if you want to do that, you have to hit a certain rank because each rank will max out on cycle bonuses at a different point. So you have to know all this stuff in the back of your head and figure out where you want to go. Now, that's the smart part about it. Now, I like to call them smarty goals with the Y on the end, but it looked silly when I wrote it out. Because the goals have to be yours, all right? If you pick a goal for yourself that, my mom, wanted us to be like doctors or something, lawyers or something fancy like that when we were little, and you do not want me to be your doctor. I could go to med school and all that stuff, but that's not what's in my heart, and that's not what I like to do. So you have to make sure that your goals are yours. If your husband says, hey, come on, I really love running, do a half marathon with me, we can do this. And you're like, I run when I'm chased by a T-Rex. Then chances are that goal is not going to happen for you. Every spring, you'll probably see me post a picture. I'm standing here like this, and I take a picture of me in my tennis shoes outside. I'm like, I'm going to go running. And it's usually on the first day that's nice outside. So we have a really nice plan. We live on a farm, and we have a really nice plan behind our house, and it's like 3 miles the whole way around. I'm like, yes, let's do this. I get maybe 50 feet in, and I'm like, forget that, because I hate it. It's not my goal. I see other people, and I'm like, oh, you're a runner. That is so cool. I want to do that. No, I really don't. So the minute I try it, I fail. So I'm going to quit making that goal for myself, and I'm just going to take my kids on a walk, because that's what I like to do, okay? These goals that other people have, they're not your goals. I get in a bad habit of comparing myself to other people. There are coaches that signed up after me that are 15-star diamonds. I'm like, I stink. I tell myself that, and you can't, because that's not my goal. Just like Nikki was talking about, my goal is not to be a 15-star diamond. My goal this year is to replace my teaching salary with Beachbody, not to do 15-star diamond stuff. So, I, on my team, am really big about making vision boards. And I ask my team to make them and post them and say, okay, what do you want? Make them SMART goals with a vision board. We like PicMonkey. We like Photify. If you don't have Photify, you need to get it. It's really a fun app. So I have a little bit of a, kind of like a call to action for you guys. I want to see what your dreams and what your visions are, not mine, but yours. So on that little paper, it should say there's a call to action, and it says, I want you to create your own goal board. They don't have to be huge. Maybe one of your goals is, I'm going to read one personal development book every month. If you're bad with personal development, make that a goal of yours for 2015. It will change your life. Okay? Change your life. Maybe you want to be an emerald by the end of February. Maybe you want to learn a new avenue of social media better. So you say, I'm going to take the month of January and I'm going to listen to what Cody said, and I'm going to learn Instagram really well, and then I'm going to use it in February. And then in March, I'm going to go over and I'm going to, while I'm doing Instagram, because I gave myself 60 days to learn it, now I'm doing it constantly, now I'm going to go to and learn a like page. And I'm going to take the time and I'm going to do that. Put your goals on paper. Give them time bound. You have to know when you want to complete them, and they have to be measurable. And then I want you to make your own vision board, and I want you to put it on, it could be your first post on Instagram. Let's do that. It's your first post on Instagram, and I want you to hashtag SS, what did I put there? SSSG. It's different than what I have on here. Super, what did I say? Super Saturday Smart Goals. Because I'm going to search for it, and I want to see your goals. I will comment. You put it on there, I will comment. I like them, I might take a picture and share and send people to your page. A whole lot, but you need to break those goals down. Look at where you want to be. Maybe looking at the whole year is too much for you. Look at January. One of my goals for January was to sign 4 coaches. So I need to reverse engineer that down to the weeks. How am I going to do this? I'm going to foster relationships. I'm going to go back to people. So maybe a month is all you can do. That's okay. But you should always have goals for yourself, because that's what's going to cause you to have forward momentum. So if you have any questions, that's all. That's what I have for you. Pretty simple, straightforward.